The reason why we have holidays every single month is so it's like, hey, yo, we need to get that bread from people. Outside of taxes, we need to get that bread. They know in this country, from October to January, we're going to get the most money in this country. Let's fill it up. Let's get these holidays lit. And we got Halloween kicking it off. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. This home run right there, bro.
I'm Simeon Pando.
Victoria Monet.
Jay.
I'm Melvin Gregg.
This is another episode of Nice and Neat.
I'm Duke.
I'm Omar. I'm Jalon.
Let's get it.
Yo.
Welcome back to another episode. Yo, what's the deal, y'all? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon, and this is another episode of the #1 podcast in all Los Angeles, Nice and Neat. What up, fellas?
What's the dilly? Hey, before we even get any further into the episode, I gotta hit y'all with a PSA, okay? We've been talking about it for weeks now. We're approaching 50K subscribers. We're approaching the 100th episode. And I see, as I'm looking down here at the analytics right now, there's 48% of you guys who are not subscribing to our channel. Now, obviously, you guys know it costs you nothing to subscribe, but it helps us grow. It helps us reach more of the people and helps us spread the message that God put inside of us. So if you could be so kind to hit that subscribe button right now, tell a friend to tell a friend, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Hey, yo, is how I look conducive to, like, people receiving what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, I got the beanie on, all black.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a nigga that's talking about, hey, yo, hey, here's why you should be faithful to your girl. if you don't know me, you haven't been following our page and stuff like that, you be like, yo, like, who is this fool?
Yeah.
And why does he look like he's a game maker? And why should I listen to him?
Yeah.
So
Off
I'm
of
like,
a clip, for sure. So I'll be busting cardigans.
Right. So that's
That's a
interesting
real
though.
thing.
That's interesting because that's the thing I be thinking about too. I'm like, yo, like, all right, can I land this message the way I'm dressed? Do I gotta put a shirt on? Can I do this with a beater on?
That's part of the reason why, like, I don't want to get caught on camera saying anything foolish, because the black man with the dreads and the tattoos, that's like, oh yeah, of course he's supposed to say that. You know what I mean? That's expected.
Right.
This dude's not intelligent. You know what I mean? So I definitely hear what you're saying.
But then if you are, I guess if you're more consistent with what you say, I guess it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't
if you're
matter.
consistent with what you're saying all the time. Like what's your idea? Like what's a business attire? Like if you're someone who teaches business, what's your attire?
just with I think collar, bare minimum.
Collar.
Right.
What do you think?
I'm a slack guy because you can wear a t-shirt, slack.
Collar, right?
Yeah.
So
you choose the slacks.
I would choose the slacks over the collar.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense. All right. If I'm a fitness guy, what's my attire?
Athleisure.
I can get away with a tank top, right?
1,000%.
Right. Y'all know Alex Hormozy? Mm-hmm. Have y'all heard him? You heard of him? Right. He's this business dude, right? But have y'all seen his videos?
Seen his videos. I know his background.
Tank top, flannel, hat. Business guy though.
Well, he does videos. So
He does videos.
He's a creator.
Yeah.
I guess he's a creator, but he owns a company called Acquisition.
Okay.
Right. And all he does is teach like marketing, business, things like that.
And he pulls up in a tank top.
Every time.
But he also don't need nobody.
Right.
Self-sustained.
Yeah.
What
Yes,
I'm saying is
okay.
like, yo, to get if you're consistent enough, it won't matter. Right? I be wearing Crocs on stage, things like that. Right. So sometimes I be having to like just tell myself, yo, how I look, it matters.
Is this why? Man, we won't really be bringing up dude's name on the pod, but is this why people gave so much validity to what Kevin Samuels was saying? Because he will pull up suited?
I think that's a piece of it.
Yeah, I think that was a piece of it too.
That might be how he got most of people to listen.
Because he's
Because
fresh.
it's like, I mean, once you self-sustain, bro, you don't really have to appeal to what anybody expects. Like Maverick Carter is one of the best businessmen in the world at this point, and he wears jeans and t-shirts all the time.
Yeah.
Like he wears whatever he wants. Like he get fly however he want to get fly.
And whatever he's comfortable with.
Whatever he's comfortable in, like.
But I also feel like people forget that, like, in these videos or when your mindset is like, yo, I want people to take me serious, but there's nothing that if you want people to take you serious, just do what you do all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll build a community of people who know you for you and what you're saying and don't matter.
And then it don't matter to everybody
So
else.
I can wear a tank top every day and give people business advice and stuff like that. Or
Because
relationship
my community believes in what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And then people are taking what I'm saying and try to implement it into their life, and it's working. So nobody cares about the tank top, except my new followers, of course. But I thought that was interesting. So
I feel like old school ways are the ones who really care about the presentation, though. Like as we get further away from the old school ways and more millennials and even Gen Z become in position of I guess, power or even just position of being hired, I feel like we're gonna get further away from that. You know what I mean? Because guys, people will continually show up in whatever they're dressed in and still put up and present great results, whether it be through great information, great education, great illustrations, great examples, etc. You know what I mean?
I mean, I even think sometimes, even with the pod that we do, like sometimes, like, yo, am I too casual today? Am I fresh enough today?
But
Get my point across.
You know,
I feel like-
is this nice and neat?
I feel like we've set the standard though. So even if you're not dressed nice and neat, the conversation is still going to be nice and neat.
Correct, and I feel like that, right? So
Yeah.
now I do feel like I could show up just.
You can show up as is.
Hey, how you guys feel about like cussing in professional settings? Like, how do you feel about it? Because I have my feelings on it. I want to know how you guys feel about
Well,
like
would you
using curse words.
Would you
Like,
consider this a professional setting?
yep.
Okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because everybody curses, right? And
Everybody don't curse.
Everybody don't curse.
when I say everybody cursing,
Hey,
I mean
just saying.
majority. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like,
Just
you know
I
what I'm
get
saying?
it.
It's like,
Everybody-
it's like
Cause I
everybody.
know somebody
like
gonna
everybody
see
drive.
it and be like,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
don't curse.
It's like everybody drive. Everybody don't drive. But
Gotcha.
everybody drive.
Yeah,
Right.
yep.
I'm just gonna say like most people curse. Just most people curse. Most people I've met curse. Most people you met curse. Most people you can met curse. Right. And then if I can hear the conversation without being distracted by the curse words, I'm okay with it. Right. If all I can remember are the curse words, then it's a problem to me. So then, therefore, all right, it's not okay. But I actually enjoy seeing people in just like a regular, like, cause as a creator, cause this is what we are now, right? And as producers of content and as business owners, we can kind of take a deep dive in other people's content and be like, okay, well, that's not really who that person is, or that person's not being organic, or that person is really trying to censor what he's saying to appeal polished. Right. And I don't ever want that to be who I am. Right. Now I understand that like in different rooms and different settings, you got to kind of change the way you talk and, you know, change your vernacular and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I still want people to be like, oh yeah, that's who he is. Right. So if I let the occasional shit go, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I'm not about to be in here talking about motherfucker.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I feel like it's appropriate in business to enhance or enhance the story or really like sell the description of whatever it is that you're trying to talk about. But if it's something to just fill space, like, so it's just motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm not into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I say, bro, to be honest, you had to be there because, man, this shit was so crazy, right? I could have said, I mean, this thing was so crazy, but like the emphasis on the shit, right, brings you in closer, tighter to the story, and it's more. It brings you. I think it makes it more captivating. But if I'm just struggling to find the words, I don't want to use mother all the time. You know what I mean? I rather take my time to find the words that I need to use and then use those. But I agree with Duke. Like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with the letting those like little type of words slip. But I believe once we cross over into the FUCK words, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, those are a little stronger.
they're really strong. They're really strong.
And
hard on the ears.
I think they're strong. But I also think, you know, I wouldn't give you an example, but I do think that you can use everything with tact, or even just to make sure that you have people's undivided attention. I remember it hit me. I was younger, and I started seeing like when Kobe would do interviews, and he just was like just in a real casual way. This is a very, very professional interview, like a big one, and he was just like, man, you just got to get over that shit, man. And like, it drew me in more.
Yep.
So it made me think like, yo, like when people cuss, I was like, it's not always bad.
Nah.
It drew me so much more into the conversation, and I was just like, man, that's interesting. So like, I even tried it. Like I was like, let me just have a conversation and let me just drop one in there and see like where it's at. And I see like, okay, people are paying attention now. Like this guy, I can relate to this guy. Like this guy is just like Duke said, everybody cusses. Everybody doesn't cuss, but when you get to see somebody be a real person, like it resonates more. For example, I wasn't planning on going here, but Elon Musk just did this interview, and he was talking about, they asked him like, yo, how do you feel about like Disney saying they don't want to advertise through Twitter anymore? And he was just like, oh man, you know, fuck those guys.
Yep.
And then it was just like, They was like, kind of like looked at him like, what? He was like, fuck those guys. Like, it's all good. Bro, and you see this mass exodus of people canceling Disney Plus subscriptions. You get to see somebody like be a real person. Sometimes it's just like, man, I felt like saying that. I didn't know if it was safe for me to say it. I didn't know it was okay for like me to like jump in that place and say it. So I don't have a problem with it personally.
The other thing is it yours?
What you mean?
Right? Is the platform yours?
Got you.
Or are you speaking on behalf of someone else's platform? So if it's your platform and you could create the identity you want for yourself and the rules you want, then have at it.
Yeah.
But obviously, if I'm working for ESPN, you know, then I gotta abide by the rules because I represent someone bigger than me.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing is this too, like, when I'm speaking, whether I'm speaking on a video, this podcast, like, I'm not really just thinking about the audience and how I'm coming off to the audience. I'm thinking about how can I make this message easy to like articulate. And sometimes curse words do that. And when you get into a habit of figuring out how to articulate yourself, you know, in a proper manner and speak well, but still integrate it with just like your natural slang, I think that's the best type of synergy because now you just flow into conversation. I would never speak to you as my homie and trying to like restrict myself from inserting curse words in our conversation because I want you to take me more serious. You know what I'm saying? I think that people can be professional and curse. Right? There's tons of leaders, there's tons of celebrities and tons of businessmen and politicians that curse. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we be thinking that like, yo, it's unprofessional, but I think it's just like, you know, how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And not using like cursing people out is completely different than just cursing. You know what I'm saying? So I will stay away from that. But yeah.
Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
Hey, you got your Christmas tree up?
I do. We have we just put that thing up. Fake joint, of course. Real sparkly.
Do you flock fake Christmas trees?
What do you mean flock? I'm.
What do you mean flock?
What do you mean?
Like,
I mean,
okay.
What do you mean?
to me, flock means fly.
Hey, a little advanced for you guys. Okay. Do you guys put like the snow appeal on your Christmas tree?
Oh yeah, we just did that.
Oh, the snow.
Look at
the flower. So you be flocking.
Do you frost?
I mean, you know,
it
in
frost
LA,
or flock?
flock mean another
Flocking,
thing
you
too.
can run it up. Yeah. So we ain't gonna go there.
So
But,
I didn't know that, but
I didn't know that either,
yeah,
though.
Chanel, she just went to some home goods store. I don't know, but she got like
It might have been
flakes.
Home Goods.
It might have been. But she just got the flakes, and I was just like, she's like, babe, we should get the white. I like the snowflakes. I was like, yeah, we don't need that. I came home, there was flakes on there. I was like, oh, that shit look nice. I like it. So yeah, we flock.
So,
We flock.
because you got the fake Christmas tree, right?
I got the.
You got a real Christmas tree?
Of course not. You got an 8-footer?
8-footer.
Hey, I got a 7.5.
Oh, I'm sorry, 7-footer.
I got a 7
I got a
foot.
7-footer.
Yeah. But don't you be looking at the 7-footer like, ooh, we should go 9. But then it'd be like, I'm not buying another tree though. Brittany want to go 9, bruh.
Well,
And
y'all got high ceilings though.
We got high ceilings.
Yeah, y'all got
Yeah,
high
9
ceilings.
will look great in y'all spot.
Yeah, y'all got
Yeah,
high
it
ceilings.
would look great, but like 9 don't look great on the pockets when you already got one. I said, so if we sell this tree, if we sell it, then we could get a new one. But I'm not having 2 trees.
No.
For what?
I'm not gonna do 2 trees, bruh.
No.
Like I'm good, you know. But why you guys don't do real trees?
Man, too much maintenance. Really, that's it. I was going to sit here and try to
much
think of.
maintenance.
I was going to try to sit here and think of other reasons, but that's really it.
Do you guys have the real tree spray that you could put on your fake tree to make it smell like?
Oh no.
So we be doing we used to do the candles. Recently, I've heard a lot about just like the fragrance on candles and those not being healthy for you. So I am trying to crazy.
No, I never heard of that.
You do the research on something, everything not healthy.
It's crazy.
I also think real trees is like if you imagine yourself getting real trees every year, you gotta buy another tree every year. Nah,
They cost $200 now too.
fake me. I'll take that fake tree me Please.
I never,
put
you
it up
know
in the
what? I will
shed.
be
Yeah,
honest.
it's good.
When I was a kid, my mom did real trees every year, right? Like,
I feel like we all grew up on real trees. I feel like the fake tree became a thing as we became
you know what?
adults.
Fake trees wasn't good when we was little.
Nah, they wasn't hitting like that.
They actually was one piece as well.
And then also too, like we were kids. Like as we begin to grow with our families, Duke begins to start his family. Like we probably eventually going back to like a real tree. Because when your kids be like, "Hey, I need that tree, Daddy, I need that tree," we're not saying no.
But
I don't know about the fake tree. I mean, the real tree though. When I was a kid, I never was just like, "Hey, yo, mom, I want a real tree."
I guess that's true.
but okay,
You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
that, right?
Because you didn't know.
But
You didn't
also, you as a parent, you think about like how do we create the most experiences that we create, and going to the store and buying it, going to the lot,
yard or whatever,
buying a tree, tying it to the.
it's an experience.
Like you teaching them how to do all these things. That leads me to this though. Are you guys gonna allow your kids to believe in Santa?
I am.
I am too.
I am.
Hey,
I am too.
I'm not gonna take
Why
that.
Why would you take that away?
Childhood, bro.
okay, so
Nah,
my
not gonna
dad
take
didn't
the
let me have that.
Nah.
But look, check this out. So my dad, we like, oh man, we gonna get Santa some cookies. My dad, I'm your Santa, right? And it's like, yo, like I get it, right? But I feel like in teaching kids, you can teach kids so many lessons through something that they're gonna find out anyway.
I
Like
want
I
to be
could
the one
teach,
to break their heart on those type of things.
and you know what's so crazy? Forget breaking their heart. Forget that, right? Because we're gonna break our kids' hearts for a long time. It's just gonna happen, right? But like in the space of, hey, what's a fun way I could teach my kid how to bake? Oh, Santa, you know Santa likes cookies. Yeah. Oh man, let's put these cookies out. This is what you do. Let's put some oil on a pan. Let's make the dough. Let's do this. And really, I'm just teaching my kid how to bake. But they think
We're prepping for cookies for Santa.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm teaching you life skills.
I'm teaching you real life skills, right? And I feel like as parents get into that space of like, hey, this is understanding, like you might want to teach your kids how to save money through believing in the tooth fairy. Oh yeah, if you put your tooth out, the tooth fairy will bring you $5. You know it's important to save 10% of all your money. What's 10% of $5? He'd be like, 50 cents. Cool, perfect. Let's save 50 cents of that when it comes. Now they wake up in the morning, the tooth fairy showed up. Dad, can we save this 50 cents? It's like, what lessons are you putting behind the stuff that you're trying to take away?
Man.
I think that's like that's the thing that I was like, I'm not taking away Santa.
Right. I'm not taking away Santa. My kids can celebrate Halloween if they want. Like, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to rob them of their childhood, right? We'll catch them in the back end. I'm going to try to be the best parent I can and teach them lessons.
Every stage.
At every stage. But certain things, it's like, yo, like, for me, hey, that was fun.
Yeah.
Halloween was fun. Christmas was fun. You know, like, opening presents. Because if you say, yo, no Santa, no Christmas tree, no Christmas, no, like, all that shit is connected. So.
You grew up celebrating Halloween? I'm going to say
no,
based off of what you just said about Christmas.
Absolutely not. We didn't grow up celebrating Halloween.
You never had costumes.
You crazy.
They damn sure not celebrating a devilish holiday.
And truth be told, like even to counteract like the fun of like Halloween, it's like, let's not limit you to dressing up one day. If you want to be Spider-Man on Tuesday, April 15th, you Spider-Man. Do it, bruh.
Oh, he let you dress up other days too?
Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like to counteract the because kids want to celebrate Halloween because they want to dress up. They want to participate. Like I know one of my buddies, he doesn't celebrate Halloween, but if his kid want to be Spider-Man on Tuesday, like he could be Spider-Man.
Yeah, but
it's all good.
But kids want to celebrate Halloween with other kids.
Yeah,
and they want to get that experience of going door to door and taking candy. That's for sure. And you don't get that other days.
And this is the thing. I understand it. It's gonna be a lot of things you're not gonna be able to do. Other people can do in their house. But in understanding why you can't do it, I think is extremely important. I don't feel like we grew up in a generation where parents expressed to us the whys.
Yeah.
I also don't think they knew how to fully articulate those things. And I don't feel like we're lacking any of those resources now. But also in the taking something away, I still feel like, all right, but what's the supplement though? Like, yeah, you can't do this, but it's like telling your kid like, hey, I want to play football, Dad. And you're like, nah, you can't play football. And you walk away from the conversation. It's like, yeah, but what can I play though? All I know, you can play flag football. You know, I don't want you to play football because, you know, you can have a head injury or, you know, it's going to be bad on your knees but like, what's the supplement? I don't think we got talked to in the supplements of what something that we couldn't do look like. I'm not just gonna tell my kids no, bruh,
Yeah.
without telling them why. And I'm not in the business of explaining everything to my child. But if I'm gonna say no over something that they absolutely want to do, we should talk through like why they can't do it.
What about Thanksgiving?
What about it?
Are you gonna let them celebrate Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm not Jehovah's Witness.
Because there's people that don't celebrate Thanksgiving. The Christopher Columbus, like
The
pilgrims,
indigenous, yeah. I just had a conversation about
that's
that.
the thing.
Man, I mean, it is a thing.
Yeah.
This
I just
year
had a conversation with somebody
this year
about it.
myself, just because of like you learn more information.
Right.
I was like, as I was saying Happy Thanksgiving to people, I was like, oh, that's not right.
People didn't like it.
No, it's not.
Or it didn't feel good for you.
Did you learn something?
It's because I learned something. Once you get privy to new information, it's like, well, how I can't continue to make the same decision. You know what I mean? Or if I do, at least now I know I'm aware of it. You know what I mean?
What you learn?
Well, it's a massacre. It's a massacre of the indigenous people of America. You know what I mean? And the whole time we're celebrating, thinking we're celebrating the pilgrims coming to America and claiming what's rightfully theirs and starting this feast between, their loved ones and breaking bread. But really it's the day that they decided to wipe out and do a genocide. So it's like when you know that, and when you find out that information, and it's like it's not a myth, it's the actual history, it's the truth. Well, then it's like, well, what are you contributing to the, for lack of better words, the
like just the ongoing like celebration, the upkeep of this holiday.
The upkeep. Are you contributing to the upkeep of it? You know what I mean? By saying it, if you know. It's like I would hate for people to be celebrating the day that we became slaves here in America.
Interesting though, right?
I feel indifferent.
It's so interesting.
And we all entitled to. You know what I mean? I'm just saying like that's how I felt this year.
I
You
feel
know what I mean?
indifferent in the space of, with all due respect, that wasn't ours. Like that wasn't our massacre. That wasn't our experience. Like Thanksgiving for us has always been like a day for families to get together. Like, the truth be told, the history of it will probably be surprising to so many people, and understanding it and not knowing the history of it, within their ignorance, of course. But it's just like, yo, that's the day that like my aunt cooked and we all get together, right? I say that in the sense of we all wear cotton, and if everybody had to like, hey, yo, I feel like we should all pay a tax, an African-American tax on every cotton shirt or every cotton supply that somebody buys. And if you don't, you're contributing to, the lashes that every African-American had through slavery. Like, if I was a Hispanic person, I'm like, yo, like, how am I paying for everybody's sins a part of this country? So something that came up when we were talking about this on Thanksgiving was, yo, like everybody is a part of
everything, every problem. Like
right.
Like,
do you believe that?
We're all a part of something, like a problem.
Like
we're all actually benefiting from someone else's like struggle or massacre or whatever. Mm-hmm. Everyone, us, like everyone. And I think it's interesting because I was just going to ask you, do you think you could hold people accountable or expect them to not do something that they really were born into? Because most of us were just born into like Thanksgiving. We don't really know the history, right? And I think what you're saying is now that I have the information, I get to pick and choose whether I want to carry on. So that's an interesting place to be.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like you, Jelon. I kind of feel like you, because and that's the same thing with Halloween, and the same thing with like Christmas, because some people feel a way about Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like we can look at all these holidays and tie them back to certain points in history and be like, yo, like that's wrong, or that's not really what it's portrayed to be, right? But then it's just like, well, I mean, like to me that's not what it is to me. To me, this is an opportunity for me to celebrate my family, and exchange gifts and stuff like that. So I feel like that's how everybody is.
It is interesting when you find out the truth of something.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's the truth.
Right.
Right. Now, how you interpret the truth and how you proceed with the truth, like that is up to you. But I also think it's up to you to understand like why you're doing what you're doing. Right. So like me, if somebody was like, yo, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, it's like, cool. I seen this funny. Duke actually posted this because I felt like this about Thanksgiving. Duke posted, I think you posted the tree or you posted something for Christmas. And you was like, hey, yo, everybody who got something negative to say about it, like, y'all leave that on your own. I feel like that about Thanksgiving. If you feel, like, yo, Thanksgiving is a load of crap. Like, I don't even know why people are participating in that. Yo, keep that with you and yours. Like, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying keep that with you and yours, because that's what this country celebrates. That's one of the holidays that's in this country. I'm sure every single country has a holiday that they just look at and they be like, once we found out the history, like, we don't rock with it.
But you could acknowledge it and still not like celebrate it. Like we're aware of that. Like we now celebrate Juneteenth, right? So now we celebrate Juneteenth. So it's like, okay, when 4th of July comes around, it's like, I'm going to take the day off, but I'm not going to celebrate it.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I think that's where my confusion is. Like, I'm going to take the day off, celebration to me, but I'm not going to celebrate it.
You're saying that's what people are doing.
That's what people are doing.
That's what people are doing.
Right.
Like, and it's like, for me, how I look at it is like, 4th of July, something that they celebrate, barbecues going. I'm not turning down no plates. Like, I'm not turning down no barbecue from nobody. So like, when somebody say like, you don't celebrate something, like, for example, like, there's holidays that's in other countries that don't stop what I'm doing because I don't celebrate them. But to be here, to live here, and these holidays are happening, and you just like, I don't celebrate it, but like, I'm gonna go to this pool party and grab a plate. Like, I don't know what that means. Personally, like to me, if you're not celebrating something.
Well, taking a day off doesn't mean that you're celebrating it. Like if I don't go to the party, I'm not celebrating. I'm just not going to work.
Yeah, but people ain't doing that. People are like, we don't celebrate 4th of July, and like instead of them having their own barbecue, they'll go to somebody else's barbecue and grab a plate and play games and do all of the things.
Oh, we're gonna call it something else.
Yeah, we'll call it something else on this day.
We'll call it something else.
So
I think it's interesting.
So me personally, I'm also an extremist when it comes to, like, if I say I don't do something, like, I don't do it. Like, for example, if I say I don't celebrate Halloween, I'm not even aware of I'm not buying candy to still put out candy for people because I'm like, but other people celebrate it, so let me put out candy. Like, I'm not buying candy. I'm not buying a costume. I'm not going out anywhere. Like, it's not even, the energy of the holiday is not even in my home. It's not around me. It's not. If I say I don't celebrate Halloween, if I say I don't celebrate 4th of July, I'm not going to be like, I don't celebrate, but let's go buy these fireworks. I see that all the time too, right? I don't celebrate 4th of July, but I'm going to still pull up to Wes's house to get some barbecue, but I don't celebrate. I don't understand. Like, you guys know me. If I say I'm not going to do something, I'm not doing it. I'm not even going to play in the realm of it. So when people are like, yo, Thanksgiving is, this, right? Which I feel like there's nothing wrong with acknowledging it. I feel like that's important. I feel like that's what you're saying.
And that's what I'm saying, because like I could still pull up and still gather, because I still feel the same way you guys feel. Like, I enjoy hanging out with my family on that day, right? But now that I know that information, I may not come up saying Happy Thanksgiving anymore. But I'm still going to be around because we don't celebrate the mass. We celebrate the people getting together. That's why that's why we get together. You know what I mean? And that's what we enjoy. So like, I feel like I could still be around for these type of holidays and still not believe or agree with why we're celebrating, or why the nation is celebrating it.
And what I'm saying is, like, what you just said is like, hey, yo, I acknowledge that there's an issue with Thanksgiving. All right, but I'm still gonna celebrate and take part in this specific component of it.
Yeah.
Right? The gathering, the dinner, things like that. And you saying, Zlon, that, hey, yo, I don't like Halloween. I'm not celebrating Halloween, but in the same way, someone can be like, yo, I'm still pulling from a little. You can't still pull a little bit from Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo, like, I don't believe in Halloween, but like my homies want to get dressed and go to the club and hit the streets. I'm going with them. That's not something that you would do?
Not at this point. Nah.
Nigga, I'd have been out with you.
Remember, the not at this point means like up until now. Like, not at this point. We've done Halloween. Like, we've done the things for sure. But like, at this point, like, nah. Again, finding out more information, it's like, nah, I don't need that. I don't need that. And that's why I'm saying, like, I don't fully understand I feel like there is a space, right? So I believe there can be 3 types of people, right? In that specific situation. I believe that it's the person who just like lives in the ignorance, lives in the bliss of like, man, it is what it is. I celebrate Thanksgiving. Like, I don't care, right? Then there can be like, I do know what's going on, I acknowledge it, but I still want to get with my family. Like, I acknowledge it. I understand it. Like, I'm also not out here saying I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. It's just I acknowledge it. I understand it. It just is what it is. And then there's a person that's just, I don't celebrate the holiday at all. I don't want nothing to do with it, right? But the people who are like, yo, F Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving's whack, it's a fake holiday, it's this, and then it's like, but I'm gonna still take the day off, I'm gonna get with my family, we're gonna enjoy it, we're gonna eat, we're gonna have games, we're gonna eat, and we're gonna drink, we're gonna be merry, and tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be Friday, and I'm gonna go and get the leftovers as well from the day that I said I don't mess with. That is hard for me to like comprehend that. Maybe somebody could give me another perspective, but it's just hard for me to.
Personal question then. In regards to Christmas, right? What if I were to say Christmas was a pagan holiday? And it's not the day that Jesus was born. But you still celebrate it, and you still say Merry Christmas. Correct?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, every holiday is a pagan holiday, though. Like, every single one. So, like, when I be hearing that, I was like, people.
What does that mean, though? Like,
it's a man-made holiday. Like, every holiday is. Every holiday is that.
Pagans were like people that worship other things other than God.
Right. Idols.
Yeah.
Like,
Objects and shit.
Yes.
every holiday is that. Like, I mean, that's why Christians call it Resurrection Sunday as opposed to Easter. But like,
But what does that mean, though? Like, does that mean like because every holiday is that, then it's okay?
no, it's not necessarily that. I think it just boils down to like how you're receiving this. Like, again, that's why that's where it goes back to me with the Thanksgiving thing. And it's like, okay, I get it, but like I'm gonna still get with my family and I'm gonna still do the things, and like I can understand like the history of that. Like,
It's not about the history to you.
It's not about the history.
It's not about the history.
no. I mean, you think about Valentine's Day, like Cupid, and
not about the history.
like all of it. It's not about the history. It's just a celebration of love. Like that's how you're gonna look at it.
Right. That's why I can't hold people accountable for it, to celebrate or not celebrate it, because it's not about the history.
Yeah.
It's actually about what you're born into and what you've been socialized to do. So, like, no matter how I feel about it, I can never expect you to be like, yo, even hearing the information that I have, hearing what I have to say, and be like, let me just cancel this holiday. I can never expect that.
Yeah.
Ever, because to most people, man, it's not even like, most people, we don't even care about the history. Most people don't even know about the history.
Most people don't even know, bro.
We just like, hey, yo, okay, I could benefit from here. I get gifts here.
It's a day off.
It's a day off.
Yep.
Hey,
I guess a
cool.
4-day weekend coming up, bro.
Right.
I mean, and an additional point too, there are some things that did have historic happenings that are still continually harming people. That's not what Thanksgiving is. Like, there are still Confederate beliefs in the South that are still harming people. So it's like, hey, yo, we have to change that history.
Sure. I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are certain teams within the MLB or the NFL where they're saying, yo, that's a derogatory term towards these group of people. So we need to change that history. Thanksgiving isn't that. Like, this isn't, if the holiday was called something negative, I could be like, okay, I could see how that name is keeping the energy of that alive. But like, that's not the reason or the surrounding that is around that holiday. Like, that might be the history. That might be why it happened and all of those things, but like, that's not the holiday. It's just like, for example, if in the next 10 years they were like, hey, yo, on September 11th, man, we're going to start celebrating the coming of fall, and it's going to be like huge, and we'll just call it, Fall Day, and it's going to be huge. And then somebody in 100 years is like, well, you guys actually know what happened on September 11th. Like, this is what happened. And somebody's like, oh, man, I don't want to celebrate no more because of the history of the day and association. And it's like, the majority of our celebrations are going to be off of the back of some sort of change, or it's how you receive it. Like, I get it, but like, people aren't still suffering because of Thanksgiving.
So when people bring these stuff to your attention, right, and they say, they challenge like, hey, yo, you celebrating this day and what happened, does it morally make you feel wrong? Even if you're like, yo.
Not until I have done the research myself. Someone could tell me, people tell us shit all the time.
Right.
We read, we hear information all the time.
Yeah.
But until I do the research myself and I could fact check it and then believe it, then it will make me feel a certain kind of way about it. But until I have done the research and see it with my own eyes, I can't take it for. I just gotta take it as face value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna use every opportunity for my family to get together.
1,000%. I think for me, I like this. I'm not gonna stop getting together for.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I'm not gonna stop getting together for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I'm not. You know what I mean?
You know what's so crazy?
but-
I don't think that's what you're saying in the least bit.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying.
I think you just like, yo, I learned something.
And
it made me feel this type of way.
Yes, that's it.
Like,
That's it.
and I say that to say, like, that's why I use the example of, you know, like African Americans, slaves, picked cotton, helped build this country up. Just like sit here and, you know, everybody digest. What would my business look like? Everybody who's an entrepreneur, even look at a company. What would my business look like if I had 10 free employees that can work up to 18 hours a day for free to do whatever I need them to do, and they can't go anywhere, and that they're getting it done every single day, right? And we're just using cotton, for example. Like and it's just like, yo, everybody who wear cotton, you know, they disrespecting black people because they don't understand the tax that's put on us, that's put on our bodies. If we look at that, like, think about it. Truth be told, even as African Americans, we're paying for the work that our ancestors put in because they were working 6 days a week, 18-hour days. Why you think we work 5 days a week, 8 to 12 hours a day? Because they expedited the growth process of this country so fast, so much that they're like, yo, we got to sell this American dream so people could still want to do this.
Man, I agree with you, but the problem is, like, where does that stop? You know what I mean? Like, they say, you know, there's diamonds in Sierra Leone, and there are blood diamonds, and
you bought your wife a diamond, right?
I bought my fiance a diamond, right? So, like, where does that stop to where someone can be like, hey, yo, like, you need to fix that? Or for another instance, right? You talking about cotton, but even the clothes we're wearing now, they have these Chinese laborers in China working in these terrible conditions, right? But nobody cares about it. Everybody's wearing clothes. Nobody really cares about that. Where does it stop, right? Where, like, because if we had that mindset where...
I think it does stop, though, bro. I think there are small communities, small pockets around America, the world, that are like, hey, we're not doing this. You know what I mean? Like, there's a community of people, of black African-American people who don't wear gold, they wear copper. There's a community of that people, you know what I mean? Not only for that reason, but because they believe in the electromagnetic energy that comes from copper. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like it's stopping in small pockets of communities all around the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's only in these small pockets.
Wow.
It's not like spreading, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what your perspective is.
Yeah, we all got baggage, man.
Yeah, like,
we all got baggage, and we all capitalizing off someone else's pain. All of us.
I think that's really what it boils down to, and that's the thing that has to be understood.
We're all doing it.
Like, even down to the vegetables we eat. Like, do we understand the conditions that farmers are lacking in this country?
Right.
Most of our farmers are Hispanic. They don't get proper wages. They don't get proper housing. They don't get a lot of the things.
Here we are. We just making green juices and shit. Green juice smoothies.
No,
every day.
Hey, real
every
talk.
day.
So back to your point. Like, where does it stop at?
No.
Like, when can I live my life? Like, when can I live my life?
It never stop, bro.
Like, now, like, and it's unfortunate because it's like, okay, because we're participating in a machine. Like, if I'm just a bolt in the machine, like I wasn't put here to really, really be the one.
How do you know? You can't say that.
When listen to what I'm saying. I wasn't put here to be the one to say, hey, yo, farmers, from now on, this is what it's gonna be. And I say that because, like, people are, that's not my ministry. Trust me. I talk to God enough. That's not my ministry.
I know that's not my ministry.
It's not. But I say it to a point. It's like, man, we sit here and we got this survivor's remorse every single day. Like, how are we gonna live our life? Like, how are we gonna live our life? We sit here and we think about every single holiday that has been a pagan holiday. It's been man-made, and we sit down and we look at the history behind Cupid and understand that. And it's like, okay, well, we can't participate in that one. And it's like, all right, well, this is the history behind Thanksgiving. Can't participate in that. Like, oh man, Jesus wasn't born on Christmas. It seems like he was born in June. All right, can't participate in that. So it's like, why are we celebrating the holiday? Like, are we celebrating the holidays for the history of it? Or like you said, dude, we're celebrating the holidays because these are the things that we're born into. At the end of the day, there's a holiday in every single month. We need this economy to continuously go and grow. And that's why we have opportunities to spend money in this country. That's why we have holidays.
That's why we have holidays.
That's why we have holidays. Let's not play with it.
That's it.
The reason why we have holidays every single month is so it's like, hey, yo, we need to get that bread from people. Outside of taxes, we need to get that bread. They know in this country, from October to January, we're going to get the most money in this country. Let's fill it up. Let's get these holidays lit. We got Thanksgiving. We got Halloween kicking it off. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. This home run right there, bruh.
Got Labor Day, Veterans Day.
Every month it's a holiday. It's not. It's by design, bruh.
Valentine's Day.
Now, what's in August? None in August.
None in August.
July 4th.
None in August. It's the summer. We outside. That's one thing about August. Everywhere is warm in August. It ain't like June and it's like, oh, it's gloomy. August, everywhere is warm, bro. This is by design, bro. It's no coincidences. We don't live in a coincidental society, a coincidental world. Like, I don't even know why that word exists. There's no such thing as a coincidence, bro.
I think people that bring up the holiday thing are genuine, or they just don't like seeing people happy.
What do you mean the holiday thing?
Yeah, go ahead, be specific.
So you know how there's people that are negative about holidays, right?
Yes.
So it could be Christmas pagan holiday, you can say Halloween, you can say whatever, right? They can say Thanksgiving. All right, it's always people that are around those times, like highlighting the fact that people are celebrating those holidays. Do you really think it's genuine, or do you feel like there's something in them that just don't like seeing people happy? Because I feel like there's just
are they not the same people that aren't celebrating Christmas? To get a little intricate in the question, but are they not celebrating Hanukkah or Kwanzaa? Because the majority of people that's not celebrating Christmas are celebrating
one of those.
One of those.
Yeah.
And then also the other question is, like, how genuine is your disdain for Christmas or whatever if you're celebrating Thanksgiving and you're celebrating Halloween and you're celebrating Valentine's Day, right? Like, so now because if you did the research on Christmas, that means you probably did the research on all the holidays. And now you're choosing to like disregard this one. It's like, oh, this one's okay, but this one's not.
This was bigger in my family. I'm gonna ask you though, what place did your comment of your, hey y'all, leave y'all Christmas comments to yourself come from? What place did it come from?
It comes from just over the years, every year seeing people make around the holidays, or make comments about like, y'all don't even know why y'all celebrating Christmas, like. Christmas was a pagan holiday. Like, y'all just, that type of energy. No one's ever came up to me like, yo, you need to stop doing this. But just online, I just know how people are. And if you pay attention enough, you'll see it, right? There's always going to be people that's highlighting things. And I was just like, yo, like, yes, I have a tree up. I celebrate Christmas. I celebrate Christmas. I celebrate Thanksgiving.
And also too though, it's really hard to like be aware and get access to this new information, and then automatically just cut the switch and say like,
for sure.
I mean, come on now.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's just like anything. It's like going from someone not working out and saying, hey, I'm about to start New Year's January 1st. I'm about to get to it. You know what I mean? And they don't fall off. It's 9 times out of 10, if they haven't already been working out, they're gonna fall off.
Right.
They're just not used to doing it, bro. They just not, you know what I mean?
You could just go, hear new information and go cold turkey.
You can't just do that.
Nah.
You can't just do that. I think that's really, really hard.
Nah.
I think it's really, really hard. So I think that's kind of like a little unfair. I think it's one thing to be like, yo, you're aware of this holiday, but how come you're not? I think the question should be framed in that manner. Like, yo, if you're not celebrating this holiday, well, how come you're celebrating these other ones? Rather than
if it's a moral thing.
If it's a moral thing.
Right?
This is the thing, man. Bro, I just learned. Matter of fact, I just learned today the history of the song Jingle Bells.
Yep, I know about that.
And you learn.
You want to tell them?
Go ahead.
Oh
Go
man,
ahead.
basically it's about slaves. They used to put the ring around our necks, and they would have bells, and that's how they would know like where we at. You know what I mean? And so they created the song "Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells" off of knowing that that's how they kept track of us. That's like our little tracker, or like our ankle device. You know what I mean? Or GPS system.
And
That's essentially what it
and,
was.
and even to expand on it, when they started having entertainment and white people were putting blackface on and stuff like that, they would show up as that, and like the song will be being sung. And what I'm saying is like, man, if we get to a point if we adopt every single principle that was something that was back in the day, like, granted, I'm not trying to listen to Jingle Bells now, honestly, I'm not, but like, if we sit here and we adopt every single thing, like back in the day, like for example, if somebody puts Jingle Bells on their story and I'll be like, man, you don't need to be playing this. Like, nah, that's just how I feel about it. And that's how I feel. Like, you live your life how you live it. Right? Now it's different, like, brought information to us. He didn't say you guys shouldn't be celebrating
That's why I wouldn't be on the
Thanksgiving.
front line. I would never be on the front line.
You know,
like that.
like
Nah.
he brought information to us. He
sure.
didn't say what we should or shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
But like how people will be like, man, you know what? Thanksgiving is this, is this, is this. It's like, yo, man, we also gotta understand what things might mean to people in their family.
Yeah.
Like somebody might have lost their grandmother who used to put Thanksgiving meal on every single year, and they just like, man, we actually celebrate this holiday because we celebrating her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, you know, Sunday's not the Sabbath. All right. Like, so all of these things, they're all things. Like, they are things. And what I'm saying is, hey, man, live your life how you live your life. Like, live your life how you live your life. Like, putting these things off on people is crazy to me. Like, bro, you have a different culture, dude. If you put half of the things on that you guys have learned throughout your entire life on your culture on other people, they be like, that don't got nothing to do with me. And that's how I feel people are when they express what they've learned.
Shit.
Yeah, like, that don't got nothing to do with me, bro. Yeah. It don't got nothing to do with me at all. And it's like, I'm not being mean or...
Like, I love that for you. Like, I love that for you.
Seriously. Like, the fact that you got that enlightening and it hit you like that, like, it showed that people is just different.
But I'm be over here, though.
I'm going to be at the yams. I'm trying to get to the
Give
yams.
me a plate.
Y'all might be over here.
You know?
Yo, that's cool. But what y'all heard about the Star Spangled Banner?
No.
Right, the first two verses, or there's like another verse to the Star Spangled Banner.
I heard. I don't know.
I don't
but
know
I heard.
it either. I don't know it either. But I know that the Star Spangled Banner that we hear is not the full version.
No, it's
so
not.
there's like another two verses, or maybe one verse or two verse that is more descriptive of like just heinous stuff towards black people.
Yep.
Right, and they just cut it out. So now we be singing it proudly, and people would be like, "Hey, yo, do y'all know like where that like the original song?" And I'm like, nah, but I used to sing it every day before school. Did y'all used to sing it? I don't like we sing it before games.
Yeah, I sung it.
Hand on the heart.
Yeah, I
right?
sung
I
it.
sung it. But now that you have the information, even though we don't know the words, it's like, yo, you shouldn't be singing it now all of a sudden. Like, what's your take on that? It's just like, is it a matter of like, okay, I'm gonna check it out and do my research and then I'll get back with you, or it's just like, yo, like, I understand, but I don't even sing it.
I think that's first and foremost. I think that's always the answer. The first thing you just said, like how O said, you could tell me whatever you want to tell me, but until I sit down,
I gotta go digest that.
Yeah, I gotta go digest that. I gotta also follow and see what that means and what that. Like, first and foremost, bro, I think it's a little touchy. I think with our country being so young, and I say our country because this is my country too, with our country being so young, there are going to be ways that countries get developed that are going to be uncomfortable to everybody, every people. This country is built off of black people and white people. Like, that is, you could see the divide when things happen. There's black issues, there'd be white issues. Like, I understand there are other people that live here, and there are other people that come here, but those are where you reside. Like, for example, Duke, we are black. I'm African American. You fall into the bucket of African American when you come here because it's like, I'm not gonna go over there. I'm gonna go over here. So our country is divided in that space. we were talking about, ironically, Thanksgiving. It was like, why are black people and white people so excited about Thanksgiving all the time? Because this country was built up. Black people and white people. The heritage and the history longest spans with black people and white people. So I say, when you say like, yo, when you hear about things like that, like history is going to be disgusting. It's going to be ugly. Every single country, every single place has had a war in order to achieve the people that it's achieved. In order for the people to say like, hey, yo, this was ours, something happened. Our history is just so young, we can really refer back to it right there. Like, this is what happened. This is the feeling that it created. Matter of fact, my great grandmother 4 times over experienced X, Y, and Z. Most people don't have that level of closeness to it. We are here and we are experiencing it, and it's close. And I say all of that to say, if this isn't our history and this is the place that we say that we can actually call ours, where can we actually call ours? So like, we have to own it at some point in time. And like, I own the history because like, this is ours. This is where we from. This is the history that we've experienced in order to be the people that we are to be here.
So you personally challenge people when they say, yo, Jelon, like, you African. Like, you really African. Africa's your home.
Yeah. Like, it would be great. It would be, honestly, it would
Great
really
to say yes.
It would really be great to say yes.
Yeah.
But like, that ain't it. It's not. Like, and I say that for the sake of like, there is a culture that exists within the black people that reside in America. African Americans, black people that reside, there's a culture that exists. So I say that to say, there's a different culture that you have being Nigerian. We have the same skin color, but our cultures are different. And that's what makes people. So with that being said, like on Thanksgiving, it's gonna be things at your house that I didn't really grow up on. I know everything at O's house. There won't be any confusion. And I say that to say like, that's culture. Like, for example, you never spent Thanksgiving with Dammy, but it's not gonna be nothing on her table that you're gonna be like, oh, what's this? Like, it's not gonna be one thing. And what I'm saying, what creates people is culture. So like, with that being said, like, this has to be our home. We're young. Black people, African American people, we're young. We're one of the newest type of people. But like, to say like, this ain't our home, I feel like we'll be doing a disservice to us. Like, our history is ugly. Most countries' history is ugly. So like, I do say this is home. A lot of people don't like it, but I do say this is home. Because now I'm on 23andMe using the white man's
Trying to figure out
out where I'm from. You know, oh, I got 66% this and 33% that.
I think saying like, ideally, you would love to say.
I would love to say
you know
that.
What I'm saying? Ideally, but that's not
Senegalese.
reality.
I would love to say that
That's
my
not reality,
grandfather
though.
lives in Nigeria.
that's not
I would
reality.
love to say that.
That's not reality.
Going
though.
back to Ethiopia every year because
Yeah, like,
I'd love to.
I would love to say that. That's not the case, bro.
Yeah, but I think you can still say, yo, this is my home, and still have the sense of, okay, I'm from there though, originally, right? But it's not my home. But I know if you trace my blood back, it goes back there. And I think that's what people just want people to acknowledge.
So again, when we're talking about when does stuff end, right? How far can you trace your blood back? Because I guarantee you, day one didn't start in Nigeria, but that's where you say this is where we put our flag in, and this is who we are.
Right.
This is who we are. So like, how far can you trace your blood
I
back?
can trace my dad, grandpa, great grandpa. I could trace that.
Okay, so do you think 6 grandpas ago was in Nigeria?
I think so.
We think.
I don't know, but I think so.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't have
like,
the information.
like they weren't in Egypt.
Yeah.
Like they weren't, they weren't in Egypt. They weren't anywhere else.
Yeah, I got you.
But what I'm saying is like,
home in
why
Nigeria,
are we the ones that's
Right.
bro, I got 4 grandfathers that live here.
Right.
Why can't I be American?
Right.
I agree, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I hear it and they be like, nah, you're not from here. And you want to take on, no, I'm fighting for what I feel like is mine. Like, this is mine too. How can we have ancestors that built this country and for us to be like, nah,
It's not mine.
that's crazy. Yeah. How can we have ancestors that fought for us to vote in a place that they said was ours and we be like, nah, that's crazy. We got ancestors that fought for us to go to school. It's not ours. it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, again, I feel like we pushing ourselves further outside of the box to be like, some is not yours that you guys fought so hard for. The reason why Eritreans exist is because they separated from Ethiopia. That was one place. But for an Eritrean to walk up and be like, nigga, you Ethiopian. They look the same, but you call it Eritrean Ethiopian, they gonna correct you.
It's a problem.
They fought for that. So like, bro, like again, and people be like, well, black people didn't fight. We did fight. You guys know what the whole war North versus South was here. We fought. We fought to be free. So like to say like that is not ours, I don't understand. I truly don't understand. Like, and I know it's an unpopular opinion. I get it. But like, just pay attention to it. Like, understand the history of the reason why people have wars is to make sure that they can have their people. That's why you have wars.
Yeah, everything you're saying makes sense. The only thing people be talking about really is where they think they originated. That's it. But you never know. After a certain generation, you just don't know. So like, my great grandpa could have been in America.
Nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
But he could have been Egyptian though.
He could have been
Yeah.
American.
Could
I
have
don't
been
know.
Egyptian. Like what?
But I'm saying, you know
what if your great grandfather is one of the dudes who helped build the pyramids?
Oh no,
Like,
see what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. So like
And
for
I can't
us,
be like, yo, like I'm not Nigerian. Nah, I got you.
like this is where we trace it back to. Like this isn't one of those things to where it's like we're talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it's like, oh man, you Nigerian that just live in Greece. Like, nah, this isn't that. This isn't that. Like, no, we're Americans. Like, generation after generation after generation. He's first generation Greek. He could go trace back where his grandfather was. He probably could go exactly back to, matter of fact, not probably. He's been back to the village that he's grew up in. There's familiarity there. Like, the only familiarity that we will have when we go to Africa is when we get there and we'll be like, oof, this feels a little familiar. Mm-hmm. And I've heard that from multiple African Americans. That's kind of actually like consensus. But like, can't go back to Senegal and be like, yeah, man, this is where my grandfather, man, this, my grandmother used to boil water here, man, before we got a water system. Like, no, bro. All of that is here, dog. Like, and like, again, I know it's not popular. I think it's
why is it not popular though? Like, why?
Everybody's anti. Everybody's anti. Like,
it is logic though.
I think that's the problem. Most people don't function in that space. Like, just pay attention to it. Like, am I tripping? The fact that people just be like, oh man, I hate America. Our history's ugly. I get it. But I'm not going to say that this is not my home and now I'm out here homeless again.
No.
It's crazy. It's like an adopted kid running away from home.
Hey, listen, man, we didn't expect the episode to go here, but it went there.
I had no idea how we even got here.
I've gotten so much more comfortable, like living in the space of like, man, where do I feel like I belong? Like when you actually talking to your pops, right? Talking to my dad, understanding the things they did just to give us the liberties that we have. Mm-hmm. I actually think it's really doing a disservice even to them by saying like, this ain't my home. It's like, yo, it's ugly. And my dad has always told me about the ugly. It's not like we don't know about the ugly.
Yep.
We know about the ugly, but it's like, this is still the crib though.
Yeah, my dad's standing on business with that.
Hey.
He's not playing that.
Hey.
My dad actually gets my dad gets offended if you call him African American. Which sounds crazy, but like, nigga, I'm American. This is my home.
I get it though.
Yeah. Listen to everything that you talking about. Growing up with my pops who lived through the civil rights movement.
Yeah, but on when you filling out the forms, right? Does it says white American or it says Caucasian?
It says Caucasian.
Okay, I think, but Caucasians are American. So I think
it doesn't say Caucasian American though. Huh? It don't say Caucasian American. You're just saying that Caucasian is automatically assumed to be
the alternative would
European.
be like nigga, Negro, right? You can't put that on the thing. But I think that the African American label is just to delineate the difference between
black and white.
That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? Because like blacks, is synonymous with African American.
Yeah.
So why not put black?
It does have. It says
Black slash African
I think that's the only way.
not of Latino descent.
Yeah, but like in terms of American, like everyone that's a citizen is American.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that point. But listen, I don't know how we got here, but we got here, and yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you, dude. Like, so like, because I feel like because you are you're able to trace your roots still. So like, let's say for example, you are you're technically first generation, right?
First generation.
You're first generation American.
No.
Were you born in Nigeria?
No, I was born here.
How do you classify first generation actually? Because I know some people who classify first generation as I came first, so I'm first generation.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, man. I think like the rules is just kind of. I feel like because I was so immersed in, like I grew up in a village. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't until I got to like high school where I actually started hanging around like black people. Right? I hung around black people, but like just growing up, it was just all Nigerian kids. You know what I'm saying? I was going back home a lot, Nigeria a lot. So I never felt like, yo, I was American. Right? That the thought wasn't even not even like being funny, but it was just always like, yo, you Nigerian.
Yeah.
Right? And like you're a Chinese kid, you Chinese.
Yep.
Right? You a Mexican kid, you could be a Mexican kid in Los Angeles, you Mexican.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? So that's how I thought I was. Right? So the idea of being a first generation anything wasn't just non-existent.
So you are first generation though.
Yeah. But
Gotcha.
I was born here. Yeah.
Okay. So by the time you are, a grandfather 3-4 times, and like
By the time I'm a grandfather.
Well, by the time you're a grandfather 3-4 times over, and your lineage has been here through that time, like, and this time goes more and more, like your kids are going to begin to identify as Americans.
It will get diluted for sure.
Yeah, and like, I don't think they would, not your kids, but like your offspring will be considered like saying they're American. Like, would you look at them funny? Like,
Nah, because you got to understand the nature of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, as time goes on, like things get diluted, right? And then my parents are Nigerian, both of my parents, right? Chanel ain't Nigerian. So off the rip, just even our kids will have already some dilution, right? So now you take our kid who's Jamaican and Nigerian, and let's just say he goes marries a white girl, right? And now they have kids, and now that's another sense of dilution, right? So that's just how it works, right? But as long as I'm alive, I think they'll always be able to connect that. Oh yeah, my grandpa is Nigerian. As long as I'm alive, I'll have some sense of like, yo, like let's go back home. Let me show you where I'm from, or let me show you where your dad was or your grandpa was from, and like this is what we do. But after that, as long as I do my job when I'm living, after that it's whatever. It's whatever for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you can be.
But at the end, but really though, I think that a lot of that stuff just ends, after the first 2 generations. It's diluted, right? And you can always say, yo, I have Nigerian blood, but you won't be able to say, yo, like I'm Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think you will be able to say, like, especially as a black kid, right? Now, maybe as a Asian kid, because if you could look at someone and say, yo, you Asian, right? Sometimes you can't look at black people out being. Sometimes you won't be able to look in a couple generations. You look at my son or my grandkid and be like, "Oh, you Nigerian." You may not be able to do that, right? And I think that plays a part in it. So, yeah, dog. Yeah, no, I don't think so. But I don't think that's a problem either.
You just made me think, like, bro, if I move to Nigeria, matter of fact, if me and Brittany moved to Nigeria as is right now, right? We moved to Nigeria. We had a kid. Our kid married a Nigerian woman. Then their kid married Nigerian. Like, now, the bloodline is Nigerian.
We're Nigerian again. We're Nigerian.
It can always change.
So what I don't understand is how we've been here for 10 generations, and somebody say, you know you're not American, right? It doesn't make sense to me. Like it's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
If we moved to Nigeria right now and we were just like, nah, this is where we gonna lay our hat. We here forever, babe. Right. We not Nigerian. Neither one of us is. But when our son, he married a Nigerian woman, then their kid married a Nigerian. Now the bloodline is Nigerian.
Right. I think a lot of it has to do with like what American values are you putting into your kid? That he could be like, yo, this is an American value. That's different than where I'm at right now. I could be in Nigeria, I could be in Spain. What are American values that I'm putting into my kid? You know what I'm saying? And then I think also there's a lot of discussion about this is because people think that black people don't have a culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it is.
What is like black, like if you're able to just like identify this is a black culture, right? And not only this is black culture, but it's a positive thing, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think we could identify black culture as like killing people, right? Or like robbing people and gangbanging.
That's why I used the example. I think the first thing in culture is food.
Right. So things like that. But if we could do if you could do those things and you could identify those things, I think then you can be like, nah, like we're gonna have a kid in Nigeria or a kid in China and this kid is American. Right? Because there's something other than the place that you're born. That's like what's inside the family and what's being taught to the kid is more important.
Far more important
than where you're born.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of times you could be born like some kids are born in white neighborhoods, in suburban neighborhoods, but still hood as hell. Yep. Or not, I don't want to say hood, but like still just black and just still have that black attitude because what's going on inside of the home. Right? And what they're around and then their cousins and things like that. I think those things are important, but if you don't have a strong sense of that, it's going to be hard to be like, yo, like I'm American. I think that's why so many Nigerians are just like, yo, I don't care what's going on, I'm Nigerian, because from the moment we was born, we was just like, yo, you're Nigerian, kid, like nah, you can't do that, you're Nigerian, you got to go home, your cousins, like it's just been ingrained in this that we Nigerian, so we take a sense of pride in it, and then we just develop a sense of belonging, even though we don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if as a black American, if you can just identify what that thing is that you guys do that no one else has done or does, then it doesn't matter where you are. That kid is always gonna be American.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. I mean, always. The thing is, like, people want to take it away from us, but we have it. Like, we have it.
What people want to take it away from us?
I know what you're saying. Black
honestly,
people.
I was about to say
black people.
Everybody.
Black people.
Everybody.
Black people for sure.
Like everybody wants to. Like the fact that, like Omar, the fact that you grew up in a Christian household. I know what kind of food you guys eat. I know where your values are. I know how you think. I know how your parents raised you. Like you mean to tell me that's not a part of culture? Now, somebody who might be Asian that grew up in a Christian household, like it still might be a little bit different because I don't know what an Asian in that space would look like. Granted, I know what the religion of Christianity looks like. Yeah. There's still certain things. Like, matter of fact, I went to my friend, they were Asian. I went to their church. The level of Orthodox they do was just different. Men sat on one side, women sat on the other side. Blew my mind. Never experienced it before. Wasn't a part of my culture. That is their culture in that space. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, okay. That was different. Mm-hmm. Now, that I know what comes with him. Like, I know what comes with him. That's why there's a culture that we have. And again, I feel like people try to dilute it because it's so young, but it's very strong. It's very prominent. Just like the same exact way why we might not know, but you know the difference between Afro beats and Calypso?
Yeah, I get that too. But also,
that's what I'm saying. I know the difference between hip hop music and Skepta. Like, I know the difference because I know what our hip hop music sound like. I'm like, that ain't it.
Does white America have culture?
Yeah. They know what it is. I don't know what it is. They know what it is.
Okay, so
it's different than somebody who live in Ireland.
Right. So what makes it hard as well in America, it's such a melting pot, right? So because it's such a melting pot and everyone's welcome and there's so many different types of, like, some of that gets lost of being able to say, yo, this is our culture, this is your culture, this is your culture, right? all these other places is just like, yo, it's predominantly them, right? And they get to like it's not just a small part of them. It's like the whole continent or the whole country or whole country. So like that means something. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of times when we talk about this is that person's culture, they're usually positive things. You know what I'm saying? Like white people, like no one's gonna talk about white people's culture being like white people were slave owners. That's their culture, right? Because that is part of their culture, right? But no one ever says like, yo, that's their culture. You know what I'm saying? So if black culture is, you know, rap music and like when we think about black culture, a lot of times the first thing we go to is like hood, certain clothes, certain music. That's what we think about, right? But you got to be more intentional to like figure out, what's real black culture? Now we start talking about the food. Now you start talking about
music.
The music. Now we start talking about how we worship, how y'all worship, right? Those are different things that people just don't know how to articulate enough to be like, yo, this is our culture.
I do think people associate white supremacy with white people.
White
You think that's part of their culture?
Yeah, I think
consider that part of their
culturally
culture?
people do associate. Like if I asked somebody who wasn't white, what's white culture, I think they would probably across the board say white supremacy. Like,
But what about white people though?
I don't know. I would have to ask somebody.
So then if you ask somebody who's not black, what is black culture? What would they say?
Exactly what you said.
They would say
Like the nicest thing they probably would say
negative
is rap music. The nicest thing they would probably say.
The nicest thing.
Yeah.
Right. The nicest thing.
You know, but like,
what would you say? What would you say Asian culture is? I don't want to say Asian culture because Asia's so big.
so well, let's just use you, right? Like I would start talking about, you know, when you trying to, it's so culture is funny, right? Culture, people use culture to try to like connect with people and relate. So you might meet an Asian dude who's not familiar with America, but he's familiar by association with America. And he'd be like, oh, what up, my nigga? Right? And you'd be like, yo, hold on, bro. Right? It's just the same way why if I'm talking to Duke and be like, oh, yeah, man, we're going to come through. Hey, man, come through. Hey, man, you're going to have some of that jollof rice? Yeah. And it's like, that's like, glad you know, I know something about your culture. I know
a little something.
I know something, right? Yeah. I don't feel like black culture has a positive outlook to most people because like the way that they try to connect with us is always like, hey, why you do that?
Yeah.
Like it's never like oh, okay, I see you be paying attention. Like, oh, okay, that's dope. You know, it's like hey, why'd you try to connect with me in that way? Like why'd you use the N-word to try to connect with me? Like what was that about? You know, why you all of a sudden start speaking a little bit more slang when you around me? You know, what's that about? I think those are things that people associate with our culture. Other cultures may not get that like that. I think, but I also think our culture is on Front Street more than
every day,
more than almost anybody right now at this point in time in life. Like it's just like in the 60s when like heavy metal and like rock music and like that was like the forefront of what culture was, and somebody might sing to somebody an Elvis song. And they might be Asian, but they'll sing to somebody an Asian song. I mean, a Elvis song, and that's the way they relate culturally, right? But now I don't know if a white person would receive that as negative or not. But I know for us, if somebody be like, "Oh yeah, man, I love Jay-Z," and it's like, why you bring him up? I feel like those are those things. Like for us, it's like connected to not necessarily bad, but it's not the way that we want to connect culturally. Like, oh yeah, I love fried chicken.
I was gonna say, but what if a white person was like, bro, let's go get some of that fried chicken, bro.
So okay,
they're trying to connect. They're trying to connect.
There's
There's no wrong with that though.
Exactly. So
because fried chicken be busting.
So when that happens now, when that does happen, and then you get a black person that says, yo, like, hey, yo, man, hold on, we don't all like fried chicken.
Oh, bro, come on.
That's not right.
Yeah,
that
that's
becomes
true.
confusing.
That's true.
That becomes confusing. So now you have. It becomes
you get embarrassed.
So now you have like people. So now that idea of like, yo, black people don't have no culture is perpetuated because it's confusing.
It's good.
Right? So no, it's never just like, nah, I'm grounded in this. Yeah, I like fried chicken. We like fried chicken.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that.
What about watermelon?
That's what we're known for. You understand what I'm saying?
That's God's fruit.
I feel like it's the same thing, bro.
Yeah, but
because you're not gonna be like, yo, hey, you guys like jollof, and I'm gonna be like, nah, what you mean by that?
Right.
Nah, yeah, that's what
You
we
gonna be like,
do.
hell yeah, we
That's
got
what
that.
We do.
My mama
You don't
making
like
two
it?
pants.
Oh, shit, nigga, you missing out.
Yep.
You missing out. You better try this. You better
Yep.
come get you one of these.
That's true.
So
true.
because like sometimes
So we got to stand in the fried chicken and
have
watermelon.
to.
Got
Kool-Aid.
to. Got
have
to,
to.
bro. Because
Stand in
we
it.
don't have nothing else.
because that's not negative though.
It's
right?
not.
It's
That-
not
to
negative.
me, that's not negative.
That's not negative.
If I take away anything from this conversation, I'm gonna start telling black people, stand in that fried
Yo,
chicken.
it's not negative.
Stand in that watermelon, bruh.
Now, if someone to say, "Hey, yo, hey, y'all be robbing liquor stores," don't stand in that.
No.
That's different because
Yeah.
that's negative. But certain things, I don't think there should be pushback, especially if that's part of your identity and part of your culture. No, nah, hell no.
I agree.
Hey, so fried chicken a part of our culture?
Black people culture,
Yeah,
absolutely,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Watermelon?
I don't know about watermelon. I feel like
I would say watermelon.
part of black people culture.
Yeah. I mean, cause you hear it all the time. Like, black people love them some watermelon. You know, there was a point in time, like in history, where black people wasn't eating watermelon in public.
That wasn't, or there was.
It wasn't.
There wasn't.
Hey, is potato salad black people culture or white people culture?
I think
don't
I think
know.
we made it our own.
I don't know.
Because I feel like we took it from them.
We did.
I don't know.
We did.
Yeah, I don't know.
I definitely think we did. I definitely think we did.
I don't know, but that's okay.
We have to look it up though. So if we're wrong, guys, leave it in the comments. Don't crucify us, please.
You guys just learn your history.
Yeah. You guys don't even know about potato salad. Yeah.
Over some potato salad.
Throw the whole episode away over potato salad.
Over some potato salad. Hey, we were talking about an hour and a half. Hey, potato salad, that's what got you?
Right.
Damn potato salad, man.
Hey, so we're on the way out. Do you believe that black people have culture, Duke?
I believe black people have culture. I do. I believe that some things that are, some things about some elements of black culture can be perceived as negative, but nonetheless, culture is culture.
I mean, I think it's some elements of every culture that can
sure.
perceive as negative.
For sure.
Like, we don't gotta get into the negative.
Right.
You know,
Right.
about Nigerians. We don't have to get into the negative. But nah, for real though, I do think
Can't perceive, and what I'm saying is like it can be perceived as negative, but it can also be positive things. You know what I'm saying? Like black culture maybe like being outspoken. That could be a thing, right? And outspoken to some people can be like, yo, like rude, and you know, but as to other people, it's like, yo, nah, we proud of what we know we talking
gonna
about.
get
We
what
proud
they
of
want.
ourselves.
Yeah.
So like, there's things that I think just people kind of misconstrue, but I really believe that, like, you know, if you just all the positive things, anytime someone says like, hey, you guys do this, it's a positive thing, and they equate that, like, just stand in it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to like dismiss it, because now you're dismissing something good.
Yeah.
And it's confusing people.
Yeah. I feel like black people have culture, but just like Duke, like I kind of feel like he's kind of saying this too. It's like we're just like a big misunderstanding about what the culture is, generally speaking.
that's why they call it the culture.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then to your point though, also black people do have culture. It's just so young.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
More time, as time goes on, like 100 years is young.
Yeah.
60 years is young. You know what I'm saying? Like 100 years was like, what's it, 123 years or 1800s.
Yeah.
So like, it's young.
Yeah.
Right. So it takes time to develop culture. We're talking about all these other countries that's been going on for like thousands of years. And like now we're talking about black culture. Of course, like it takes a while to get there. So even if it feels like black people don't have culture right now, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Hey, listen. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Right. I hope y'all took something from that episode, and I feel like it was just good, genuine, candid conversation, and yeah, I enjoyed it myself. Right, and I learned a lot of things about myself and a lot about Jelon and O. Just a conversation. So let us know what you thought about the episode. If you enjoyed it, drop a comment. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/nice and neat the podcast. Please. All right, there's different tiers. We're going to be doing BTS videos. We are going to be doing early access videos, Q&As, discounts on merch, all that. All right, so be sure to subscribe to our Patreon. Do me a favor right now. If you are watching this on your TV, go ahead, just take a photo of the TV, put it on your story, tag us. Shout out to all you guys. We've been seeing the top Spotify playlists, by
Yes,
the way.
sir.
Like,
Oh man,
Yes, sir.
that's
Like,
been incredible.
we've
Yes,
been-
couple,
shout
couple,
out.
couple days. Yeah.
shout out to y'all, man. Everyone that has us on the top 5 playlist, man. That's dope. It's an honor to just be up there, man. We are approaching 100 episodes and 3 years of doing this, so it's a blessing, man. We just grateful to just be on y'all radar and just have y'all rock with us, man. Yeah, fellas.
Yep.
Anything?
We're almost to our 100th episode. So we got some suggestions on who you guys want to see for the 100th episode. But make sure you guys leave a comment down below for anybody that you guys might want to see for the 100th episode. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
Okay, man. With that said, I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalan. This is another episode of Nice and Neat, and that's that on that.
I'll be the
Peace.
one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old and I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand.